Have you ever noticed how the most anxious people you know are often the ones trying to control everything? And the most successful people are often the ones who learn to be comfortable with not knowing exactly how things will turn out? There's something profound in that observation. It points to a fundamental truth about human growth and achievement. Progress requires letting go of certainty. And letting go of certainty is deeply, deeply uncomfortable. That feeling has a name: discomfort. And here's the thing most people don't realize: it's not a warning sign that you're doing something wrong. It's actually proof that you're doing something right. Growth and discomfort are inseparable. You literally cannot have one without the other. It's not just a motivational cliché, it's how human psychology and neuroscience actually work. Your brain is designed to keep you safe, not to help you grow. And safety, in your brain's ancient wiring, means staying exactly where you are, doing what you've always done, thinking what you've always thought. Because the unknown is dangerous, right? But here's the problem with that survival mechanism in the modern world. The things that feel safest are often the things that keep us stuck. The job you hate but know how to do. The relationship that's comfortable but unfulfilling. The same daily routine, year after year. Your brain says, "This is fine, we know this territory." But deep down, you know you're not growing. You're just existing. So why does growth require discomfort? Let's start with your brain. When you do something new or challenging, your brain has to create new neural pathways. Think of it like hiking through a forest. The first time you walk a path, you have to push through bushes, step over rocks, figure out where to go. It's slow and uncomfortable. But if you walk that same path every day, eventually it becomes a clear trail. Your feet know exactly where to step. That's what learning looks like in your brain. Neurons that fire together, wire together. But here's the catch. Your brain only builds those new pathways when it has to. When you're doing something familiar, you're using existing neural highways. Fast, efficient, comfortable. Zero growth. It's only when you push into the uncomfortable zone that your brain goes, "Okay, we need new infrastructure here." That uncomfortable feeling is literally your brain rewiring itself. It's the sensation of growth happening in real time. Think about how you learned to ride a bike. At first, every moment required intense focus. Balancing, pedaling, steering, not falling. Your brain was working overtime, building new connections. It was exhausting and, yes, uncomfortable. You could feel your muscles trembling, trying to maintain balance. Your attention was maxed out, monitoring every tiny movement. One wrong shift, and you'd tip over. But after enough practice, those movements became automatic. You don't think about balancing anymore, you just do it. That's because your brain built efficient pathways for that skill. But notice, the growth happened during the uncomfortable phase, not after it became easy. The same principle applies to emotional and psychological growth. When you avoid difficult conversations, you stay in your comfort zone, but you never develop the skill of navigating conflict. When you only stick to tasks you're already good at, you maintain your current abilities but never expand them. Growth lives exclusively in the territory your comfort zone doesn't cover. Here's what makes this even more interesting. Your comfort zone isn't a fixed location, it's dynamic. It expands when you push its boundaries and shrinks when you play it safe. People who regularly choose discomfort find that fewer and fewer things feel intimidating, not because they're naturally braver, but because they've trained their nervous system to handle uncertainty. Meanwhile, people who avoid discomfort find their world getting smaller and smaller. Things that used to feel manageable start feeling overwhelming because they've lost the habit of being uncomfortable. There's actually a name for the sweet spot where growth happens: the stretch zone. It's that space just beyond your comfort zone where things feel challenging but not impossible. Not so scary that you freeze, but not so easy that you coast. When you're in the stretch zone, you feel alive, alert, present, a little nervous maybe, but also excited. That's where learning happens. That's where you discover what you're capable of. But if you push too far, too fast, you end up in the panic zone. That's where discomfort becomes destructive instead of constructive. Your nervous system goes into fight or flight, your thinking brain shuts down, and you're just surviving, not growing. The key is finding that edge where you're stretched but not broken, where you're uncomfortable but still functional. So how do you actually practice productive discomfort? First, you have to reframe what discomfort means. Instead of interpreting it as a danger signal, start seeing it as a growth signal. When your heart races before a presentation, that's not your body saying, "run away," it's your body mobilizing energy because something important is happening. When you feel awkward trying a new social skill, that's not failure, it's learning in progress. Your palms might sweat, your voice might shake slightly. These are signs that you're pushing your edge, not signs that you should retreat. Second, start small but start consistently. You don't build discomfort tolerance by occasionally doing something terrifying. You build it by regularly choosing small, uncomfortable actions. Take a different route to work. Start a conversation with a stranger. Try a food you've never had. Speak up in a meeting when you'd normally stay quiet. Each tiny choice to lean into discomfort trains your nervous system to handle it better. Think of it like building physical strength. You don't start by trying to bench press 300 pounds. You start with manageable weight and gradually increase. Your psychological muscles work the same way. Third, notice what you're avoiding. Pay attention to the tasks you procrastinate on, the conversations you delay, the opportunities you talk yourself out of. That resistance is usually pointing directly at your growth edge. The thing you're most avoiding is often the thing you most need to do, not because it's inherently valuable, but because avoiding it keeps you stuck. Here's a powerful reframe. Discomfort is temporary, but regret is permanent. That anxious feeling before you try something new, it lasts minutes or hours. The regret of not trying? That can last years. Most people, looking back on their lives, don't regret the things they tried and failed at. They regret the things they never tried because they were too uncomfortable. Think about someone you admire who's accomplished something significant. I guarantee their path was filled with discomfort. The successful entrepreneur had to endure countless rejections. The skilled musician spent thousands of hours in frustrating practice. The confident public speaker bombed talks early in their career. None of them became exceptional by staying comfortable. They became exceptional by repeatedly choosing to be uncomfortable. Consider the athlete training for a marathon. Every long run pushes into discomfort. Muscles burn, lungs strain, mind begs to stop, but that's exactly where the adaptation happens. The body gets stronger only when it's pushed beyond its current limits. Remove the discomfort and you remove the stimulus for growth. And here's the beautiful part. Each time you choose discomfort and survive it, you prove to yourself that you can handle hard things. Your self-trust grows, your confidence expands. Not because you're pretending to be brave, but because you have evidence that you can face challenges and come out the other side. That's real confidence, earned through experience, not manufactured through affirmations. So the question isn't whether growth requires discomfort. It does, always, without exception. The real question is, are you willing to be uncomfortable? Are you willing to feel awkward, uncertain, challenged, stretched? Because on the other side of that discomfort isn't just the skill you're learning or the goal you're achieving. On the other side is a bigger, more capable version of yourself. Someone who can handle more, create more, become more. Your comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing grows there. Growth lives in the stretch zone, in the space where you're not quite sure you can do it but you try anyway. In the moment when your brain says this is hard, and you say, I know, and I'm doing it anyway. That's where transformation happens. That's where you discover who you really are and what you're truly capable of. And it all starts with being willing to be uncomfortable. Every single day, you face dozens of small choices between comfort and growth. The cumulative effect of those choices shapes your entire life trajectory. Choose comfort consistently and you'll wake up years from now wondering why nothing changed. Choose discomfort consistently and you'll become someone you barely recognize in the best possible way.